I'm Liv, who's doing the voiceover, and Heather, who is on the board right now. The two of us will be doing Draw My Ancient Egyptian Life. So in the ancient Egyptian religion, there are four main religions: Heliopolis theology, Memphis theology, Hermopolis theology, and Theban theology. Each of these tell us about a different part of the ancient Egyptian religion. The first religion is Heliopolis theology, which stems from the city of Heliopolis, one of the largest cities in ancient Egypt. The chief deity of the city was Atum. He was worshipped in many different temples, but the two main locations were the primary temple, Perat the Great Temple, and Peratum, a typical temple. Atum was also known as the creator god and pharaoh over all of Egypt. He was also worshipped as a solar deity because he was considered to be the sun. Each night at dusk, he would die as the sun went down, and in the morning he would rise again as the sun. The story of Heliopolis theology tells is Atum's creation story, which also eats into Egypt's creation story. One day, a mound of dirt came up from the ocean of Nun, and Atum was created. He spit out Shu and Tefnut, but they disappeared and became lost in the Nun. He searched for them, and when they had been found, they were renamed Life and Order. They were then connected and had children. Their children became the Earth and Sky, or Geb and Nut. Respectively, Geb and Nut had their own children: Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus. In some versions of the Egyptian creation story, Atum tells Osiris that he will eventually destroy the world by submerging it back into the Nun, but he and Osiris would survive as serpents. The second theology is Theban theology. This told the Egyptians that Amun was the reason for everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen in the world. Amun existed separately from the physical world. He was the first creator and came to be from a noise similar to that of a goose call. He caused the silence and stillness of the world to end and caused the Ogdod to form. Over time, Amun became the god of all gods in ancient Egyptian religion. The third theology is Hermopolis theology. Hermopolis refers to the city of Hermes in Greek, but the Egyptians called it Khmunu, or City of Eight. It was called the City of Eight because Ogdod was a system of 8 deities, 4 gods, and each of their consorts. Each deity and its consort was a pair that was made up of a male and female that represent a part of the ancient Egyptian creation. Nun and Nanet represented the primeval waves. He and Hiet represent eternity. Kuk and Kuakt represent darkness, and Amun and Amunet represent air. Amun was the god at one point along with Nanet, but they were later replaced by Nia and Niet, gods of void. Each of these 4 male gods were pictured with frog heads, and the female goddesses were pictured with the heads of serpents. They were used to tell a creation story involving 8 elements, which were believed to be combined and cause of explosion of energy, which created the primeval mound that would rise from the water. Later, the 8 deities would die and live in the duet known as the underworld. There, it would be ensured that the Nile would continue to grow and allow the sun to rise and fall every day and every night. The fourth theology is Memphis theology, which originates from the city of Memphis, located near the entrance of the Nile River. The god Ptah of craftsmen and architects is worshipped here, which makes sense because Memphis is the city where pyramids originate from. The pharaohs considered the pyramids monuments of themselves because Egyptians believed in the afterlife. They believed that every human had a second self called the Ka, which would live on when the physical human body died. The purpose of the pyramids was to make the afterlife as comfortable as possible for the Ka. These 4 religions tell about how the Egyptian world came to be and what happens after death, making it the foundation for the ancient Egyptian religion.